Hello everyone and welcome back to Creation Myths. This will be a short update in the Dr. Casey Luskin Lying About Human-Chimp Similarity saga. That's Dr. Casey Luskin, Discovery Institute Center for Science and Culture Associate Director, just to be clear about who we're talking about here. Dr. Luskin has been on a months-long bender over an April 2025 paper on human-chimp genome similarity, claiming the authors determined and then hid the results that the human and chimp genomes differ by over 14% rather than the 1 to 2% you usually hear. In this short video, I pointed out that he's conflating two different ways of comparing genomes when he makes this claim, and also that he's clearly doing this for two reasons. One, to undermine the concept of human-chimp common ancestry, and two, to undermine the credibility of the scientific community as a whole. Anybody with two eyes can see exactly what his goals are and what arguments the audience are supposed to pull out of the articles, the many articles that he's published on this topic in the last 2 months or so. But then things got fun because a sharp-eyed commenter, and I'm showing the comment here, I've read it in another video, but I'll just show the comment here, and if you want to read it, you can pause and read it. This commenter realized that Dr. Luskin had edited a figure that he showed in one of his many recent articles on this topic, specifically removing data concerning intra-species comparisons, while showing the data on the human versus non-human ape comparisons in terms of their levels of genome similarity. I pointed this out in this short follow-up video, and by the way, all these videos are linked down below if you want the full story, and that didn't go over so well when other people realized what Casey Luskin had done. For example, on the Peaceful Science Forum. If you're not familiar with Peaceful Science, it's a really wonderful online community where a lot of actual scientists will talk about evolution and creationism and origins stuff. It's a really nice place to hang out. The moderators are really good, so you should totally check out Peaceful Science. I've linked the relevant threads on this topic down below. I bring up Peaceful Science because there, the user base is generally way more open to creationists and way more willing to take their claims at face value than a lot of people, certainly more so than I am in many cases, but not this time. Several users expressed surprise at just how blatantly dishonest this was from Dr. Luskin, especially in an article where Dr. Luskin accused the authors of the original paper of hiding data. And that, my friends, is called irony. Well, here we are a few days later, and Dr. Luskin has updated the article in question with the edited figure to show the entire figure and appended this note onto that article right below the now complete figure. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will pull some choice lines, and I invite everyone to read the whole thing and appreciate the doth protest too much vibes that you get from this paragraph. So let's go through some excerpts here. So we'll start with this line. I post here the full chart from figure 3.12 of the supplemental data from you et al. 2025, because some people are falsely claiming that I originally omitted data from the chart because it somehow refuted my argument. This is false. Let's be clear. This 100% refutes Dr. Luskin's argument. Protest all he wants. We can all see what he's doing here. He's making the case that the larger number means humans and chimps don't share a common ancestor. He's not saying that, but literally everyone reading knows what conclusion they're supposed to draw from all these articles. Dr. Luskin, if you see this, I'd ask you to stop treating your audience like children. We all know what you're doing here. It isn't subtle. Just own it. Just make the case you're making. So how specifically do the omitted data refute his argument? It's the data that I'm showing right here. It's the human-chimp gap divergence compared to the gorilla intra-species gap divergence comparison. The gap divergence between humans and chimps is 13.3%. The gap divergence within gorillas is 13.8%. So to be clear, there is more intra-species divergence in gorillas than there is between humans and chimps. And everyone agrees that all gorillas share a common ancestor. which means that the level of gap divergence between humans and chimps is no barrier to common ancestry. The intraspecific gorilla comparison directly refutes the argument. That's why omitting these data matter. He also says, my argument is not that human-ape genetic differences necessarily refute evolution. It's that evolutionists who for decades have claimed humans are only 1% genetically different from apes were wrong. This is wrong, and many people have explained to Dr. Loskin why this is wrong, and he's still saying it. The 1% difference and the 14% difference are calculated using different methods. This paper that Dr. Loskin is citing also confirms the 1% number. It's just a different way of comparing genomes. And also, as Dr. Loskin knows by now, the larger number has been available for years. This paper is not groundbreaking in that regard, despite the claims from creationists to the contrary. Again, these things have been pointed out directly to Dr. Loskin since he started writing about this article. The fact that he continues to make these claims is not simply ignorance or a misunderstanding of the comparisons or the data. I am extremely confident in saying at this point, this is dishonesty. He's dishonestly conflating two different things. I also just have to point out this line right here because it's too perfect. Dr. Loskin writes, and I always linked to the supplemental data where people could see the complete data set if they wish. Oh, it's transparency when you just link to the supplemental data, despite editing the figure without indicating you did so in any way. But when the authors put this data in their supplemental, in the paper they published, you insinuate they were hiding it. I don't know if anybody else feels like that's a double standard, but that seems like a bit of a double standard to me, and I'm probably not the only one. And the last sentence I'll highlight is this one right here. In fact, I already extensively addressed objections regarding intraspecific genetic differences here before recent critics started making their false attacks. That's just not true. He only talked about human intraspecific variation. No other species, nothing about the gorilla intraspecific variation or the chimp intraspecific variation, none of that stuff. He has not addressed the data that he hid in that figure. He has not addressed that data to date as of this recording, which, just so everyone knows, it's July 10th, 2025, in case in the future he does, which I hope he does. The, again, usually extremely patient users on the Peaceful Science Forum are having none of these excuses. And again, given how tolerant and willing to assume good faith that audience usually is, sometimes to a fault in my opinion, I think that's a pretty good indication that this is, in fact, blatant dishonesty, exactly like it seems. The facts here are that Dr. Loskin got caught lying. He edited a figure to hide data that were detrimental to the argument he was trying to make. He got caught, he got called on it by a lot of people, so he showed the full figure with a bunch of excuses trying to obscure the actual reason why he hid it. People, myself and others, are not buying it correctly, I think. So that's where we're going to leave this one, with Dr. Loskin caving and showing the full data and then making excuses for why he had to hide those data in the first place. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to do the algorithm-friendly things down below, and remember, there's a ton of links down in the description. You should click those links so you're up to date on everything that we're talking about. Thank you again for watching, and don't get fooled.